All right, just making sure that I got my audio settings correct. Y'all, I appreciate you. Thank you for rewatching this conversation, this said conversation that we are about to have. It's Monday, Tuesday, sorry, Lo siento. It's Tuesday, March 26th, 4 p.m. We're going to have a little chat about scalable offers with the Chris Williams. Check this out. All right, now I'm going to let some people in, do a little ad lib, and then we should get on with the show. Mana mana. That's my hold music. Mana mana. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Yo, what up? Gala,
Hey.
Chris Williams,
I'm
Carol
so excited.
Ann. It's good to see you.
Yay.
I'm glad you got here in one piece, my love.
Damn, yes.
Josh McBride in the room.
Hi.
Josh, Josh, for someone who's on TV every single day of your entire life, you sure do get like coy
I,
and
I know Gala intimidates me. She's intimidating.
Gala, by the way, who has if I can gloat, a top 40 US launch design podcast right now on Apple Podcasts. Actually, I should say top 39, but you'll never guess her position. Top 39. Okay. Oh,
All thanks to you.
yeah, I'm going to take credit for holistic interior design. Okay. Hillary, it's great to see you, my love. How are you? Pretty in purple.
Hi.
Hi, hi. Marta, it's good to see you. I feel like Romper Room. Y'all know I grew up in the 70s, 80s with these references. I see Chris. I see Carol Ann. Heidi. By the way, Heidi, phenomenal to see you, my love. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Heidi, the OG, y'all. No offense, Josh, but literally the OG. Talk about an early adapter, one of the first to sign in. Chris and I met her almost a year ago. No, I guess a year
No,
ago in August.
August podcast moment.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming up.
That's
It's
right.
coming up.
Yeah. We chatted for a long time.
It's cool to see you and
Olivia
congrats on all of your
Rayu.
success.
Yeah. Olivia's on my team. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you, Vinny. Yeah. It's been good. It's been
Yeah,
really good.
congrats on everything, by the way. It's good to see you shining on LinkedIn.
Thanks.
I'm gonna take just a couple more minutes and let some people in. Y'all, just two things real quick, little techie things that I've learned about Zoom. One is if you're on desktop, y'all know you can like literally move, like click on the images and move people around. Just to make sure you just
What?
yeah, if you take your
The
image
day
on your
years
desktop,
old.
you can just move it over. I got that setting open, wide open. Sometimes I like to put myself right in the middle, so I give myself the eye contact. I'm like, uh-huh, Chris, that's exactly what I thought you said, looking at
Yeah.
myself the
I'm in,
entire time.
I'm in the middle of my screen. I do it every time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to take this time to alphabetize everybody by first name because what I'm going to do is actually waterfall introductions. I'm going to ask people alphabetically by their first name and then last to, in the chat, introduce yourselves. If you have a question for Chris already out of the gate, to go ahead and drop your question in the chat. So if Chris can throw it into his talk as he's sharing some information with us, then we'll get what we want right out of the gate and then have some time for some Q&A immediately thereafter. Hey, Raquel, it's great to see you, love. I was just saying we're going to waterfall introductions. I'm organizing everybody by their first name alphabetically. So right now on my screen, Carol Ann is first A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Then, H, E, I, Heidi, and then Hillary, and then Josh, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So Gala before Hillary. Sorry, Maron. I'm getting this right before Heidi.
Okay. So if I do this, does it mess you up?
You're just last. You just go
I just
last.
did I just move my position though? If you try.
If you no, I got you locked in. I got you locked in last. Pin last. Yeah. Also, y'all, I use this thing called Note Taker, read.ai. You'll get a recording sent to you immediately after this. It's going to have a long-term recording of the entire hour, a short-term recording, a highlight reel, AI notes, calls to action. It's like one of my favorite things. But the annoying thing about this note taking thing is that it always would default the message on the bottom would always default to Vinny's note taker. So when I'd be on a call with somebody, if you're a client, you know this. If you sent me like a link, it would go to Vinny's note taker, and then I would be like, just if you could toggle to Vinny and just make. I actually had to change my settings in Zoom on the desktop app version in Zoom through the web profile. You can actually default that so that everyone can initially begin connecting with everyone or no one or just the host. I have the chat open so y'all can private DM each other if you want, because I want this community to stay in touch. So if you do have podcasts or opportunities, offers, if you feel like you'd make a good collab partner with somebody, y'all be respectful and talk to each other. So I want to just throw out there, but that's just two things that really made a big difference. Shout out to Lucia, who is driving right now, so she's going to listen. Lucia, hello caller. Hi, Lucia. Thank you for listening. And Marta, who's struggling with Zoom, put them up. Heba, you going to join us on video too, or you got to chat? I want to be respectful of everyone's time here. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, L, M, N, O, Raquel, there. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. It is now 4:07. We have got 53 minutes of genius to transpire, which means I'm about to put my mic on mute. Let's do some introductions in the chat. So if you can, in the chat, Carol Ann first, just name what you do. If you have a question for Chris, and Chris, I'm going to sort of toss this over to you. And I'll give you a quick little setup. Chris is a friend, a very dear friend of mine, who's really helped me with some tools to communicate my skill set with a larger audience. And sometimes when you have a scalable offer, you think of a group situation like this, for example, like how do I have one thing and bring it to a group of 10, 20 people at a time that we can experience it and consume it. For me, it was a little bit more, how do I take my offer and scale it out, but still allow myself to have that one-on-one relationship with people. And then, because, I like to have my cake and eat it too. And then invite those one-on-ones into moments of community like this, where we can learn from each other and with each other. So, Chris, thank you for being here so much. And why don't you sort of kick us off a little bit in like, did I do a good job at explaining what you do, and what exactly is a scalable offer?
You did a great job.
Thank you.
So first of all, Vinny, thank you. And don't y'all just freaking love Vinny? Like, oh my gosh, I know. Vinny is a joy to hang out with in person too. We've gotten to hang out multiple times because we go to conferences and we're in a couple masterminds together. And it's just a privilege. Vinny also has helped us pick out our newest member of our family. We have a miniature schnauzer. He has a couple of those hanging around you see on camera every now and then. Our little girl Goose is 5 months old and just rocking. Vinny, thank you for introducing us to the Schnauzer world. It's great.
Yeah, welcome. By the way, also, I'm gonna make sure that reactions are on. So if anybody wants to react with these cute little hearts or thumbs up, I think does this work too? Yeah, we got.
Yeah, I got a lot. I know. Do you have one too, Gal?
Let me unmute. I did for 16 years. It was my first baby. Now I have a 2-year-old son, but she trained me very well, very well. Those are some very smart, intelligent dogs that keep you on your toes. So training is key when they're puppies, because they'll kick your ass. They're amazing though.
Thank you for the advice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Once you have a schnauzer, you can't go back. So I'll just say that.
Exciting. Yeah. Great. All right, let's dive in. So what we do is we teach experts how to build scalable programs. All right, there's a lot of versions of scalability. You guys can interrupt me, ask questions all you want. Is that okay, Vinny? Can we interrupt and do stuff to? Okay, cool. All right. So, hey, everybody who doesn't have your screens on, wish I could see your faces. Oh, we got one, Stacy. Hi. So if you can't turn your screen on, it's okay. Keep driving, be safe. Let's talk scalable offers, and let me kind of break down a few things so we're all on the same page first. There's nothing good or bad about having something more or less scalable. This is a total personal choice. All right. If you're feeling like you wish you could grow your business, your reach, or whatever bigger than what you're able to do, That's going down the scalable path. It just is what it is. If you're a one-on-one coach or consultant and you're meeting clients one-on-one, you can scale up to the number of hours you want to work per week. If you're a one-on-one coach or consultant, I'm just going to use that as an example because it's easy, and you've scaled up and you like only want to meet with clients for 20 hours a week, which is a lot of one-on-one work, by the way, that's what you want to do. You could scale your income up by charging more money. So let's say you double, triple, quadruple your prices. At some point, that's going to cap out. So then you're capped out from a time standpoint and a money standpoint. Okay. Again, nothing right or wrong with that. Jill and I have 5 kids. We've traveled the world with our kids. We've had so much fun. And for a lot of those years, we had a capped out income level because we were charging for time and we had raised our rates really high. And so we were having tons of fun, but we wanted to grow more. So we started figuring out scalability. So that's where all this started for me. Now, let's talk about extreme scalability. If you're like me, I'm a little bit perfectionistic and I think, okay, I want scale in something and I won't build something until I get the scale figured out perfectly. There is no such thing as infinite scale. All right. You will never get it perfect. Let's talk Tesla for a second. That's a scalable business model, we think. You see them all over the place, right? But it still requires Elon. Like for some reason, the dude is still like totally connected to that thing, right? SpaceX, it's scalable. They're throwing like rockets every 3.5 days in space right now. Do you know that? They're actually taking satellites every 3.5 days into space, have been for about a year. That's crazy scalability. Still takes Elon Musk. Okay. It's not infinitely scalable. He's still very connected as the leader. So he's not completely scaled out. Take America. In theory, it's scalable, but we have all these politicians running around and they're doing a lot of good or bad, depending on your viewpoint. Can we just agree we don't need them? And then, I'm sorry if any of you are politicians. I'm sure you are. So if you're a good one, awesome. If you're not, it sucks for you. But scalability, even at that level, if you're a congressperson or a president, you're still limited to the number of hours and how many people you can network with or reach or connect to. It still is what it is. There's a limit to scalability. So don't let your perfectionism get in the way of taking the next step to scale. Okay. Those are my 2 bookends. There's nothing wrong with not scaling. There is no true infinite scalability. So don't be perfectionistic about it. Now, 2 things that typically come up when it comes to scale. And you guys just pitch in, ask questions, stop me wherever you want. There's done for you work and there's information sharing / selling work. Okay. Josh McBride, I heard a second ago, you're on TV a bunch. That's an information / selling your face, your words, whatever, right? That's really scalable because you get into a lot of people's homes or devices really rapidly. If you have a done for you service, like you're helping someone create something, is it Gala? It sounds like you're in the design world. Is that right? Yeah. Do you actually help people design their spaces?
Yes.
Cool. So that's more limited on a scalability standpoint because you got to kind of see it, be there, whatever. You could teach someone else how to do it.
Mhm.
You could scale up and have 3 other designers on your team or 100 designers on your team, but ultimately that's their scalability. Okay.
Mhm.
The trick here for any of you is to figure out, if you want to scale, what's in the way. That's where you got to start. Okay. As we talk more and more, you'll realize that some things are in the way and they're very obvious. That's what I would love for you to walk away with today is, what is the big thing I have to figure out how to solve in order to take the next step for scaling? Is that a fair thing to figure out today? Okay. We cannot build scalable programs in the time we have, but we can give you a target to shoot at. So let's talk about things that get in the way. Things that get in the way are usually one of 2 things. Either your ability to do the work, like I have to be there to see the house, to do the design work, whatever, or your ability to have more time on your calendar. Josh is an example of having a very scalable product immediately, and yet it still takes your time, Josh. You still have to show up in studio. So we have to crack the code on what is between me and scalability. What's the biggest thing between me and that thing now? I'm going to give you some examples and then let's talk it out as a group. Okay. I'm going to take lots of talk breaks so you guys can share and ask questions, aha moments, whatever. A couple of examples. It could be that you have a done for you service and you're the person who's the genius. And if you don't show up, nobody else can figure it out like you can. Okay. That's not true. It's not. There are other geniuses in the world who are just as good as you who can do this. But there are, hang on. This is Goose.
So cute.
I know.
We did
she's
such a good job, Chris.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's my little god puppy.
Y'all want to just stop talking scalability? Can we just hang out with our puppies now?
What's more scalable than puppies?
if if you think you're the only person who can deliver the message, deliver the pitch, like y'all know Vinny's skill set is remarkably focused. Like he does stuff that few people know how to do. He's really, really unusual. That's really powerful. Okay. But we could find another person with Vinny's skill sets that could help us do some of this stuff. And it could potentially help Vinny be more scalable. That's not the direction he wants to go. He loves hanging out with you guys, but that's an option. So you're either doing the service and that's what's bogging you down, or your calendar's getting in the way and you got to figure that out. There are fixes for all those things. Or it's going to be something super easy and obvious that you might not have realized, like, oh my gosh, I spend so much time on social media and messages and inbox and calendaring every day. This is driving me crazy. Or, oh my gosh, I spend so much time researching so that I can write the books that I write or whatever it is. This is driving me, like, there's things like that that you can outsource. I know we're talking basic stuff like delegation, but it's going to get there. Okay. Scalability means you stop doing 80% of what you're doing now and you focus on the things that move the needle in a very significant way. So let's take a break. What for each of you, and we're going to go around the whole room here. Y'all can talk, like take 30 seconds. Everybody gets a chance here. Either an aha moment so far, or what do you think your 80% is that you shouldn't be doing, or something in that big realm you're like, I got to quit doing this. Who wants to go first as a guinea pig, not Vinny?
I can go.
Okay, yeah, Stacy.
Hi, everybody. So I know that I need to stop doing a lot of my podcast processing. I need to just show up at my podcast and let go of the rest. I just haven't found the right support. But I'm on my way. It's just not exactly right. So that's clear.
That's a great example. Thank you, Stacy, for going first. Tell me, Stacy, how many hours a week or a month do you spend doing that podcast processing stuff?
Well, it's better now because I have an editor and I have a VA. It's just that it's not all jiving so well. I'm not sure it's not working perfectly, but so I reduced it from, oh my gosh, from over 10 hours a week to now 2 hours.
That's great. Okay, very cool. Very cool. I get you. When I did my first podcast in 2014, it was easily 10 or 15 hours a week of creating a 30-minute podcast. It's so crazy. So I was like filtering through and looking for all the ums and ands and trying to filter, like, come on, just get over it. So yeah, if you had 2 hours a week earlier to chill out on a Friday afternoon, that would be pretty freaking amazing. Or if you had 2 hours a week to get on 2 calls with 2 people who are truly influential in the space you're working in and make meaningful connection, that could change your business. That's an 80-20 swap.
Yes, I think leisure, I love the word leisure because instead it's swapped with podcast processing stuff to trying to figure out my products. You're talking about scaling. I'm still figuring out all my products and honing in. So that's a different problem.
That's great. Okay, good example. Who wants to go next? By the way, we're going to mastermind structure this thing. That's what we do, masterminds. So let's, like, y'all are going to learn so much from each other, just hearing each other say, oh, that's my thing. You're like, oh my gosh, me too, or whatever. So who wants to go next? If you've dropped a note in there, just unmute yourself and fire away.
I can go.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm a burnout recovery and prevention coach / consultant for organizations and for individuals. I am also like a former physician. So I feel like a lot of the work and I'm a new entrepreneur. So a lot of the work I'm currently doing is everything. Like, and there's certain things that I'm good at, and there's things I enjoy doing, and there's a lot of things I don't like doing, but I have to do anyway. So the one thing I think I could probably outsource is I'm creating a lot of the content and creating these online courses. And I love doing that because that is like my creative expertise process. But the thing I don't like doing as much is like putting things together technically. Like I want to be able to give the information to someone and then for them to kind of like put it together on a website or through a program. And I feel like I'm doing a lot of administrative tasks that I don't enjoy doing, and I can easily delegate and focus more time on the actual content and the value that I'm trying to deliver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. This is really good. Great example. If I can just go right after each one of these, is that okay? Like how to help? That's a who, not how issue. Anybody ever read the book Who, Not How? Benjamin Hardy wrote that book. Fantastic book. Great. Yeah. How do you have? Great book. So here's what I've learned to do over time is take those things where I'm like, I got to figure this thing out, but it's not the real skill set that I want to develop and build, but it needs to get out of my way so I can scale more of the things that I should be doing. Like my team and I have this phrase that we use all the time for all of us, only do what only you can do. So we're constantly as a team pushing things off of all of our plates to the people who can do that thing the best and not somebody else. So I would be finding the person who can kind of spearhead those projects where you don't have to figure it out. I have no idea how the systems and processes of my team run. No idea. There's no reason for me to know. Well, Chris, don't you feel like a lack of control? Hopefully. Yeah, because why would I want to control it? I can't scale if I control it. So I would be looking for someone like that, and I'd be looking for someone that's not going to be cheap. So you got to pay for them, right? Here's the trick there. I look for where is the next, I used to do this, I don't have to anymore as much, but where is the next client or group I can start or whatever that I can take on and say, I'm going to start charging 20, 30% more than I did previously, like yesterday, for this new person. And that extra 20 or 30% is going to go for paying for that who in my life. That way I don't feel the pressure financially. I've got a secure way to bring them on my team, and it's worth the time. Does that make sense? Am I heading the right direction?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great advice. Thank you.
Unfortunately, and fortunately, that's a step towards scalability. Then the next question is going to be, what are you going to do to replicate how you teach, how you educate, how you help people in a way that scales up bigger than your ability on camera, you know? And you'll figure that out next. That's really cool. I love what you do, by the way. Who's next? Aha moment or what's the 80%, something that 80% that's blocking your scalability?
I'll go.
Yeah. Thank you, Heidi.
Yeah. We have a pretty good base to our business via organic, and we did just introduce a high ticket offer. You will be very proud. Thank you. You were the domino that tipped that over the edge last year. And I've hired a coach to take over the 2 bottom tiers of my program, and I'm only doing the higher ticket one, which feels like a really big step in the right direction. Where I feel like I'm really stuck with scaling right now is that, like I said, our business has been built very organically over the years, and we, in the last year, are pushing ads to try to scale with ads. And that's felt a little bit like a beast. I'm doing it. I have another person on my team that's helping me, who has a lot of experience in this space, but I'm still super, super, super involved in like the media buying and like figuring out the different hooks to test for the creative and all that other stuff. And I feel a little bit stuck in that. I mean, just last month we kind of we got 3x ROAS, and we kind of proved like bottom of funnel converts, because it's really scary to like spend $10,000 and be like, what the fuck's gonna happen? And so I feel like I'm in that like weird stage where like I'm in the weeds figuring it all out, and I don't like to hire someone to do that role would be very expensive to get a really qualified person and before it's even proven. And I have a lot of skepticism around ads too, because I'm not a person that buys through ads. And so I guess I feel like I'm grinding to a nub on these fucking ads, and also having like that sense of control. I have a big issue with that of like, well, if we're going to be spending especially something with ads where you're like literally like burning cash, I feel this sense of control of like, I, from a deep level, have to understand how these ads work and the nuances and all that other stuff. I don't know. That's
It's
kind
a
of
great example.
there's my word vomit.
This is such a good example. In 30 seconds, what is it that you help your clients do? What's your group about?
Yeah, I help fashion designers escape the toxic rat race and become successful fashion freelancers.
Nice. Do you teach them how to do ads?
No.
Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Okay, so caught you. Sneaky question. So, okay,
Yeah.
here's this is such a good, I really appreciate you bringing this up. And now I'm connecting all the dots, like meeting you at Podcast Summit, all that. Okay, great. I can like,
Yeah.
like see how we're standing in that big area with all the booths around. Okay, so oh, I love this. Your expression of a blocking thing is keeping you from scaling. This is so good. We all are going to relate to this. If all of us are honest, me included, there is something in my business that scares the shit out of me. Okay? It's losing money, it's losing clients, it's losing prestige, it's getting canceled, it's getting whatever the thing is for you in your life. It's the thing. That thing is not your expertise. Okay? If it was your skill set, you wouldn't be scared. All right? I can skateboard. I can skateboard on electric skateboards. Skateboards don't scare me. Okay? I've yet to jump out of an airplane. That scares me. I got a buddy who's on his 26,000 and some change jumps out of airplanes. He doesn't skateboard. Who knows why? Both risky activities, but not in our wheelhouse. So we've created bubbles around us. You have two about ads that keep you safe. They keep you insulated from the fear bumping into reality. And yet that is the thing that keeps you from scaling. Because until you let go of it, you're going to be the issue. You're the bottleneck. Now, Heidi, I am so skeptical of ads. I don't buy through ads either. And I've been burnt so many times by ad agencies who've done it the wrong way. Right? I think we've all been there. I have finally found an ad agency that's really working for us. Happy to refer them to you if you want. But here's the thing. All of us have to find the person in our life who actually isn't scared of the thing, the ads, and trust them. I'm going to jump out of a plane sooner or later, and I think it's going to be with my buddy. I want to do it, but I need to go with somebody I can trust. So you got to find the who, so that you can let go of that thing. Because if that's I'll think about this way too. The thing you're scared of, getting canceled, losing a client, losing reputation, losing money, not getting the next gig, what's next you're going to look like financially. You get the hugest client ever in one day. And you know how you do? You wake up the next morning, even though the money's in the bank, and you're like, what if I don't get another client like that again ever? It's going to be horrible. You're scared after you just made so much money, right? So what is the thing that's going to set you free where you can quit wasting the emotional and mental bandwidth on that? Because you can change the world way faster if you can focus on your zone of genius and invest in people than trying to figure out the algorithm and the funnel.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I would argue I know so many people that have been burned by ad agencies too. And I am like, I think that I'm in this control challenge where I'm like, I think I'm more scared of getting burned on that level than I am of like me just figuring out how to fucking juggle it, at least for now. And also just the balance of like proving that ads can work for us first before then like just burning all this money with someone else. But it's true. It's not my zone of genius by any means. I'm learning it from scratch.
Let me
So
give
yeah.
you a short-term solution.
Okay.
Just like I said a second ago, you can charge you need to figure out, here's the logical way to approach this, because fear is never logical, right? For me or
No,
for
yeah.
so the logical way to approach it is to ask, what's at risk if I hand it off to the right who and I don't figure out how? Well, let's see. It's going to be $2,500 a month for the ad agency. It's going to be $15,000 a month for ads.
Uh-huh.
And they say it's going to take 3 to 4 months for us to figure all of it out. All right.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Now we're in for 60, 70K. That's what's at risk. That's real money. So
Mm-hmm.
let's figure out a program or a product, a coaching group, a something that puts 70 grand in your pocket, and that's your ad money.
Yeah.
And build something or build a program or pricing model around it where the ads aren't a risk. You can mitigate the risk and take yourself out of the heartburn.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like that a lot.
Really good example. I'm really glad you brought that one up because fear is the thing. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good seeing you again. I love you. Is that a
Yeah, you
Yorkie?
too. Yeah, our little Yorkie. We had a
So-
Schnauzer. He passed, but yeah, now we've got this little lap dog.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, who wants to go next?
Raquel, go next. But Chris, I love what you did there by addressing that. Well, she wasn't, and because I don't want to say anyone's name, Josh, but we can definitely relate to being terrified of spending money on ads that aren't working. And then we're like, do the ads even work? Is the audience even listening? Is Facebook even going to continue running ads? Should I even continue in this direction? The internet is changing. But I love what you said about finding that ROI, finding that stream of income and support to come in. I actually, and I've seen, and Heidi, you've done a great job on LinkedIn and through other LinkedIn professionals building unique ROI for your brand as well too. So like just knowing how you've stacked some of what you've built already, really, that answer really resonated with me, Chris. So thank you for that. And Josh, if you want to comment, you can after Raquel and then after Hillary. But you
Josh
better be
can
prepared.
himself eventually.
We'll talk about that after.
Let me just say
Raquel?
this.
Yeah.
Let me say this about ads, Raquel,
Yeah.
before you go. This about ads. If ads didn't work, you wouldn't have one of these in your pocket and you wouldn't have a TV on your wall.
Oh, okay.
It is what it is. That's what pays for all the electronics in our lives. They work. It's a matter of finding someone who can show you how they work for you. And that is an expensive project. So anyway, Raquel.
So I may verbally vomit as well, so we'll be in competition for who's vomiting more. So I will say, as someone who has been in the service industry in terms of serving my clients for 18 years, and I know I speak for a few people, potentially in the entertainment space, we've really been crushed this last couple of years, especially in the live production space, where we got pummeled, whether it's TV and film and live space. I know Josh can understand that, and a few others. And then we went right into the strikes. And so there's a few of us creatives that have been living in this space of constantly in the service realm of providing for our clients. And I'm in the middle now of pivoting, which is why I DJ, but I've been DJing on Twitch for 4 years. And while we make, I make okay money, it pays for, my 2.5 to go to daycare. It's not enough. And I feel like even when I've tried to basically set up a Redbubble or whatever it is for like some of the stuff I do with DJ, I'm literally like, I can't even become an Amazon affiliate because I don't have enough people. I'm literally trying I'm not like an old school person that's not willing to move like the music industry. I actually am trying every which way, which Vinny will tell you, like he gives me homework. I'm like a little puppy, like, yeah, give me more, let's do it. But it's not happening. I'm manifesting, I'm working on it. Every day I work, I have my scalable, like what can I do today that moves the needle? It's not happening enough for an ROI where I can sustain in this or thrive. And I'm struggling with well, what am I going to be when I grow up? Because I've spent 30 plus years in a certain trajectory and I'm always willing to pivot, and I have been, but it's not thriving for me in the last 3 months because it's been a really hard industry reality. So I don't know what my question is other than I'm putting all my efforts into every aspect and many tenets of who I am, whether it's DJ Aviva, Drive Entertainment, or what have you. But it is hard out here in these streets, and it's not monetizing the way I need it to for my two little ones, and being in business for 18 years. It's the trajectory is not, I don't see it right now, and I'm trying everything. So I just will leave it that there.
Raquel, I wish I could
Thank you.
empathize with you, but I'm on my yacht in my studio out in the Caymans, and I just don't know what it's like to be out in those streets.
I'm gonna unmute, and I'm gonna mute, and I'm gonna stop video in about 2 seconds. I'm kidding.
Put that finger up there. We know where it's going. Yeah. So, all right, this is real. And this, believe it or not, is an offer issue that has a scalability connection to it. Okay. Most of the time when we're struggling with scaling, it's either because we're in the way, like our service, our hours, our whatever, we just can't get out of our ways. We talked about several examples of that. Or it's that we have an offer that's not resonating and that can be delivered in a scalable way. Okay. So you create a new offer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make I'm going to DJ. Awesome. By the way, you just got 10 times cooler because you DJ. So I'm going to DJ, but unfortunately that's not scalable, right? Because you got to show up over and over and over. So you got to create an offer. And I know I'm preaching the choir here. You got to create an offer that's scalable. You got to create an offer that's going to resonate with your market right now. I love that you just painted such a grim picture of what you're going through, because if you're experiencing that, everybody around you is in your industry. Holy crap. I love hearing that, because now I know we got something to solve. You can help people like you. We got to figure out, and I'm happy to, we can have other conversations around this, guys, some other time. We just come around out of time. You got to figure out what is the offer that they are so desperately going to want to buy that they will pay you to fix. And it's probably going to be something very, very simple that just moves the needle one mark for them. If you can figure that out, there's a process to go through to figure it out. If you can figure that out, then you will have your $1 million idea. And here's the hard truth for everybody. That offer won't be the same in a year. We change our offers frequently. We don't have to change our entire identity. Stay with your roots, stay with what you know. But you got to have something that's connecting to the pain that's going on right now. And a year from now, it'll be a different pain. But you will have learned how to pivot that offer, and you'll make a little tweak and people will start buying it again. So it's really an offer issue that you have right now. It's a connection to the pain that you're experiencing and figuring out a solution for that and selling it to everybody else in your shoes. And you're like, well, Chris, fuck that. If I could figure out, sorry, is this a family show? If I could figure out how to, fix my own problem, I would have by now.
That's exactly where my head was at. Like, if I could fix that, and on that, there's a smidge of my own Jewish guilt that goes with it, where it's like, well, we're struggling to make some money, and I'm going to ask friends who are in the same situation to pay more money. Like, I hear what you're saying, which is why with the DJ stuff, it's through Amazon, whatever, we get paid for subscriptions. And I hear you, but that's exactly what you were going with it, which is, A, if I would have figured that out, I wouldn't be in this situation. And B, how do I ask friends of mine who are also struggling to pay me money to help them out? That's where I struggle.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if I'm taking up all the time.
No, you're not. Let me answer with this. Let me answer it this way. And this is not what Vinny asked me to do. This is not a sales pitch in any way. Okay. This is just truth. I can help you figure out your offer because it's what I do. And I'm not you. You can help your friends figure out their issue with an offer because it's what you do and you're not them. I know which friends of mine should break up with their significant others because they're horrible. But they don't know that, and everybody's told them they should break up. I can see your problem and fix it for you. You can't see your problem and fix it for you. Which means if you want help, I can help you. I don't mean as a sales pitch, but what it also means is freaking go help your friends and charge them money for it and fix their problem and set them free. Yeah. By the way, they won't take your advice if you don't charge them. So not charging them or charging them crap is not an option. You got to charge them money that hurts so that they will do what you say. All right, who wants to go next? Talking 80%. What's the rock in your way? Yes. Is it Carolyn? Is that you? Yeah. Is that who's next? Am I getting in order? Okay.
Yeah, let's do Carol Ann and then Hillary. By the way, just real quick, with Raquel too, you know, you're a booker and we know you as a booker, a TV booker. Just TV budgets are going away, TV platforms are going away, TV shows are going away. But booking is such a big need. We have a bunch of podcast hosts here who need to book their guests. You have a bunch of guests right here who would love to learn how to be more bookable on other projects. You have such a unique skill set that applies directly to the biggest pain point right now, which is connectivity. Something to really lean into. All right,
Thanks,
Caroline
Benny.
and then Hillary. Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So nice to meet everybody. Thank you for your time. I'm on the newer side of launching all my stuff. I am a comic entertainer, writer, producer, have a one-woman show that's very successful, and am an award-winning fitness person and wellness expert. So I'm under the radar behind the scenes, except for when I'm performing comedy and doing my show, and I'm bridging those things together. And I have a bunch of videos and whatnot that I'm unleashing onto the internet world. Um, as outgoing as I am, I hate the fucking idea of doing that because I like live performing, but I'm doing it anyway because why hide and why not reach more people? Because that's what I'm here on the planet to do, to make lives better. However, I am coaching my fucking ass off. And I know I have to do the uncomfortable thing, which is landing page, live coaching, putting shit out online. And my former operation brain, I know systems, procedures. I have to know the blueprint before I strike. So I'm in that position of like tech. I'd rather clean dirty toilet bowls than do anything tech. And I would actually come clean your house for you. It's a real problem. So this whole idea of scaling up, and I've already done the whole 20, 30, 50 increase of like how many times my clients come in. Can I charge 10% more here, 30% there to come up with this money, which I am doing? And where can I offer more things to pay for somebody to help me do this? But my chokehold is not knowing in my head is am I making I don't want to waste what I've already worked on unleashing it out into the world without it making sense. It's got to make sense, and is the landing page right? Am I picking the right um offer? Is it in line with what my ultimate goal is? And that's where I'm at in this like confusion place of like I can't take looking at myself in the mirror anymore because I should already be over there and I see people doing it. And I'm not saying I'm better or they're not, but I know what I'm capable of, and it's just I'm fucking wasting. And that's why I'm on this call, because any opportunity to learn and grow, I'll do whatever it takes.
I love your attitude. So let's be thoughtful about this, as with everything we should. It's so easy for us as entrepreneurs. We're all pretty high, driven people. We get stuff done, right? You're looking for something more scalable that's going to get you out of the one-on-one coaching and something that
Correct.
sets schedule free and your income free. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. This is an offer issue as well. What you do, like you've mentioned multiple things that you do besides the house cleaning, which is super cool. But you have a lot of very scalable skill sets. Okay. That's really, really cool. You can scale in a couple different ways. You can scale big, like thousands and thousands and thousands of buyers in a low ticket offer. Like in the fitness space, you see a lot of those. There's the package you buy. Or you can scale at a more concierge level and help a couple hundred people a year, but they all pay you $30,000 to $70,000 and you see them all at the same time. So you got, and I'm not saying that has to be the cap or the limit. I'm just saying you're going to go make a couple $1 million a year, maybe 10 or $20 million a year, whichever way you go. it's going to be an issue of, do you want to go after the high end people or the low end people in any of your offers? And it's faster to go to the high end people than it is the low end people. It takes a lot longer to build hundreds of thousands of followers than it does to build 100 amazing followers who will pay you anything. So you have an offer issue.
That's hot. I like that. That's hot.
Awesome. You have an offer issue, and I would go down the path of creating a scalable high ticket offer that you can really create a big impact for a very select few people who are the right people. It's very easy to find those people and very easy to sell them at that level. That's a whole nother conversation. I know I'm not cracking every box open here. I'm trying to get to everybody, but is that pointing you in the right direction a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Go down the path of, I'm trying to find another link here that I can help you guys more with. There we go. I found it. Go down the path. Vinny, I don't know what you want me to do here. Where do I go from this? If people need to ask me more questions, can we?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. In a second, if I can figure this out, I'll grab a link here in a second. We have a call once a week that we do where we just put like 8 or 10 people at a time in a call, and you guys can just ask questions about scalability issues. It's not a paid program. It's just like jump in there, ask your questions. With this group right here, we'll have our own little Vinny party without Vinny. Okay. So what I would do then is, Caroline, is just, I would like going down the path of creating a scalable offer that's super high ticket that you can monetize really rapidly. And that's going to open an enormous amount of doors the fastest way possible. It's way faster than going low ticket, and all the web pages, all the funnels, all the posts, all that stuff. It's way easier.
Okay.
Can I transition to the next person? You good for a minute?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Stacy was next. Am I right, Vinny?
Hillary, and then Stacy. Is that cool?
Hi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hillary. Yeah, let's
Hi
get Hillary.
there.
You can come back. Yeah. Hang on, Hillary. Stacy, unless you have something to say about what Caroline was just saying, is there a quick comment about that? Something different. Okay. Hillary, you're up.
This is fabulous. And while I'm sitting here listening to every single one of you, I feel like I'm part of every single one of you. Like I can feel every single impact that you're feeling from not being able to scale or fear. And it makes me think of this this one quote. Well, first of all, it sounds very much like Think and Grow Rich, like find the people who do the thing well, because let's focus on what we do well, what you're saying, Chris, which I love that. But also, like, there's a saying that P.T. Barnum had about finding your peculiar genius. And it seems like we all have this peculiar genius that we need to put out there in the world. And for me, I come from a background of 30 years in broadcasting. I've been a news anchor, television personality, journalist, QVC, you name it, I've done it. The TV's been my best friend since I walked out of college. And then I transitioned over into holistic health and mental health probably about 7, 8 years ago. And I'm one of less than 1,000 people in this world that do what I do. And I've studied with the founding doctors of havening techniques. And for me, this is a modality that is not as well known as something like tapping or Reiki or some of the other things out there that we're more aware of in the mental health space, or even neuroscience, because it's neuroscience based. So for me, where it really boils down to, and I think it's probably the offer itself, is I've invested a lot of money and time as well, so I get the fear factor, right? Like I haven't felt like I've been given the right guidance, or I've spent money and haven't seen the ROI, so you're scared to do that. But then there's the other side of it, like I know what I do well, and I have people that come to me for what I do, and they'll put down the money like that if they understand it. But it's really getting people to truly understand this work that I do that's so incredibly beautiful and transformative in a very short amount of time because of the neuroplasticity of the brain, right? So it's less, I think for me, I've learned that it's less about telling them the science of things. They just want to feel better. They want to not feel the fear. They want to get out of their own head so I can get in there and fix things, So it comes down to that, really. I don't have a fear of being in front of the camera. I'm used to being on stage. That's part of it too, is being able to do what I do well,
have the space, and I say this all the time, I'm like, I just want to do what I do well and let other people do what they do well so that I can do better. I can make more so that I can serve more.
Yeah.
It's really that. It's let me make a lot so that I can help more people.
That is so awesome to hear. I wish I was as altruistic as you are. That's like
I
really
wouldn't mind the yacht. I mean, no, I actually,
yeah.
that's not where I'm going first. But
With a
make
beautiful
more, serve
studio
more.
like I have. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
that's really what it boils down to.
So what do you think, what in just a word or two, what do you think's in the way of you getting there?
I think I'm in my own way, but it's a question of what does that mean? I've had a number, it's spending the money where I feel like I've spent it before and it hasn't come back. So I can hear what Heidi was saying. It's seeing the change in the business, which is what Raquel was saying. It's so many different things that I'm hearing little peppered in and not really knowing how I can move this needle to the next level and feel comfortable with it. Well, actually, not even. I don't even care about feeling comfortable because I think when you're on the edge of the beach, that's where that's where it happens. You have to dive through, right? That's really the only place where the change happens.
That's what you
But
teach your clients. You teach them to
yeah,
be
it's what I tell them. I'm like, that's the overwhelm. It's being on the whelm, the wave, and diving straight through. I talk about that all the time in my when I'm on stage or when I'm one-to-one with a client. So I'm not really sure what's keeping me right there at the edge of the the beach. And I've got a beautiful podcast that does well, and all of these beautiful things are happening, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know how to spend. How do I
like
spend? What do I spend on?
how to monetize it, how to make it like turn into, yeah.
Good
Okay.
Lord, not even just the podcast itself, but like you're saying, and I love what you just said about it's not about finding 100 clients to pay $4,000 to work with you for 12 sessions or whatever. It is, how do I find the ones that are going to lay it down like, you're
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Here's my credit card, and let me help you help yourself, because I'm not healing you. I'm not healing you. I'm just giving you the tools to heal yourself, and I do it
Yeah.
well.
I got you. Okay. Let me drop a link real quick here. That is a link to the next 3 Tuesdays. We have calls on Tuesday afternoons. That's what I just did before I jumped on this call. You guys can join any of those calls you want. Here, and then I'll come back, Hillary, and answer your questions more specifically. In case anybody has to go, those are free calls. We put you in a community much like this. We just get more time. It's an hour and a half long to just sit down and say, okay, what's going on? Where should you go next? And happy to help any of you. Olivia, Heidi mentioned Olivia, our senior coach, your group coach nation. She's on there. Yeah, Benny knows Olivia really well. And we'll just like, let us sort it out. We'll sort it out with you. Okay. That's that call all about. More specifically, Hillary, where I would go with this next is you have an offer issue, just like Caroline mentioned a second ago, and Raquel, it's an offer issue. And we need to bring that up on our next Tuesday call and just talk through what does that look like for you? Because you've got to figure out a monetization model that's scalable, that's highly profitable, that doesn't take much of your time. That's not that hard to do. It's just it's like a science project or a math project, and there is a formula to figuring it out, and that's what you need to walk through. When you do, you realize, oh, this is what those people want to buy. I get it. Here's how I sell it. Here's how I price it. And you're like, oh my gosh, now I know what to talk about my podcast. Oh my gosh, I have this new thing. It's so awesome. You got to call me about it. And boom, you'll get people on your calendar. Like, you just got to have the thing that's going to connect. So is that helpful?
Yeah, definitely is. It's the connection, but also letting them know that this will serve you. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. Like being able to say that's okay too, I think is really important.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And connecting your service to the people who want to pay you the right amount of money for it is going to be so critical.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Great. Thank you so much. That's great. And thank you for the link.
Today's call. Okay, so Stacy, you had your hand up, but is there anybody else who hasn't spoken yet that needs to speak before we like 5 minutes left? Okay, let's get Josh real quick. Josh, maybe you want to defend yourself at least. Like, what do you want to say?
Did you say defend myself? Yeah, I do. I usually have to with Vinny. Like I mentioned in the chat, I'm a lifestyle expert, development producer. I just launched a course recently. So like, I think I figured out my offer, right? I figured out I take brands and get them on TV and sponsored content, right? And the TV game is changing. Raquel talked about it a little bit. It was funny, Raquel. I want to send you a TikTok link that went viral recently because they talk about the entertainment world changing and nobody in the entertainment world having jobs, from editors to producers to development producers to executive producers. So I worked with Vinny a lot of it on this, and figured out, my offer is to teach others how to get their small business brands on television, right? And they can take a video module downloaded course to be able to do this. So I think I figured out a offer. I'd like to have more offers, but I'm in, and I forget who said it. She might be gone, but I think I'm worried about ads. I'm worried about how do I do that? I'm worried about promoting it too much, because I told Vinny this in the beginning. I hate that saying that those who can't do teach, and I'm still very much doing. And I don't want to become like, oh, Josh, I don't want to coach. I don't have time to coach. I don't want to coach one-on-one. That doesn't suit me. Blessings and congrats to those who do, because I could never do it. I don't have the time to do it. It's not my passion. I have the offer. I guess my question is, how do I scale that? And maybe that's with ads. I don't know, but it's like, and again, like you said, you kind of said it perfectly. I still am having to go to Chicago, having to go to LA, having to be in studio in New York. I'm on air, so I can't. The point of the course for me was to kind of rack up and create income while I'm not while I can't do something else in that moment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're in a place where you need to scale the actual product itself, not you.
Yeah.
Have you sold this course more than 10 times already, or is it brand new?
It's brand new.
Okay.
I've sold it a handful of times. A lot of it was like seedings and things like that.
Yeah.
But it's brand new, and trying the Facebook ads and things like that. And it's really for a specific market,
Yeah. Stacy, I am like trying so hard to get back to you, but we might need to see you on a Tuesday call if that's helpful. I'm not trying to ignore you, but we're going to run out of time here. So Josh, where I would go with this, I can refer you to somebody who's very good at scaling offers like yours. However, he's going to tell you the same thing. Until you've proven organically what you're going to sell, like 20 times, not 3 times, the 20 is a big number. Until you've proven something organically 20 times, you don't have a track record that's solid enough to scale. And so funnels, ads, all that stuff is scaling something unproven. So technically you're scaling question marks, and that's a really expensive game. Here's the worst part about what I'm about to say. You're probably going to have to run some sort of coaching program for like 3 to 6 months and get people in there and meet on a Zoom call twice a month, whatever you got to do, and take them through the process live to confirm these are the people that are buying. Here's why they're buying. Here's what I had to deliver. Like, here's the whole package now that I did in front of real humans, not a beta test, but real humans paying you real money. And then you'll have something you'll be able to say, I know I can double down on ad spend because I know this is what they want and what they will buy. Until you have that, you're going to waste your money with any type of scalability or paying the best funnel builder, website builder, any amount of money. It won't matter because they can't build something that you haven't proven sells until they know who buys it, why they buy it, what the sales conversation is like. Then they can sell it. An ad is just an extension of a sales conversation that's been repeated a dozen times over in a small format. And that turns into a bigger and bigger sale. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, and I'm selling a product. I'm not selling me. However,
you're selling a course. Yeah.
Right.
But of course, they are buying you. They're just buying a productized version of you. And the thing is, you don't know what's going to make them buy that course yet, which means you're going to have to still stay pretty close to the sales process, and you got to know why it works.
Got it.
Unless you got a bank of money. If you got, and I mean this literally, I'd say $400,000 to $600,000 to spend on experiments. And I don't mean that in a silly way. That's what it takes to do it without showing up yourself. Because somebody's got to go through all the iterations to get it done. And it just takes a lot of time and money.
Copy that.
I can help you on, if we want to jump on another Tuesday call, I can help you more. Vinny, you guys are like, I'm so impressed with this group. Like, you guys are freaking amazing. You guys are, I know Vinny can stay, maybe he'll say, I don't know how long you'll stay, but I really appreciate you guys letting me speak into your situations and help a little bit. Y'all are super cool. And Margarita, blink twice if you were not safe. There is someone in your house. Okay. All right.
You rock.
I got a jet, guys.
You're
Vinny,
awesome. Thank you so much for your time, your tenor, and the way you approach the answers to the questions here. There's a lot of one people shows, one woman shows, one man shows that are here. It's hard for us to find the right people to grow with, especially when so much of how we got here was based on what we had to do ourselves. I think that's like the thing that I learned most from you, to be honest, was some of the skill set and tools that I just needed access to, and some of the people that I needed access to better help me find a way to have a group experience and a one-on-one experience, so I don't lose the intimacy. And the whole reason why I do what I do is the intimacy of the relationships.
Yeah.
By the way, which is like a weird thing to say, because most people usually probably want me to say, I care about your results. I care about the process. The results are ongoing. I don't care about a result. I care about all of the results. Josh has a brilliant TV product.
I got to speak in
See you later,
somebody.
bud.
It's so good to see you guys.
It's
Y'all
good
are the
to
best.
see
There's that
you.
link again if y'all want it. It's not a sales call, by the way. That is just it's just a open call, so you guys can have at it. Okay.
Cool, y'all. And if y'all want this, just save the chat, hit the 3 buttons, and on the 3 little dots where it says more, and then save chat if you want. You will be getting an email with this link thereafter. It's great to see everyone here. Thanks so much for coming. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Vinny.
Yeah, thank you, Gala. Congrats
Thanks for
again
doing
on your
this, Vinny.
podcast. Yeah, thank you, Josh. Thank you for letting me shout you out.
Always.
The eye roll.
You can tell Gala's an interior designer because she has the best backdrop between
Right?
Like, no offense to everybody else.
Completely.
Sorry.
Thank you, Josh.
Carol Ann, welcome to the family, Carol Ann. It's great to see you and have you here.
you.
Yes.
I
glad
love
you're
these people.
Yeah, you're surrounded by, these are my strengths. My strengths.
Yeah.
Margarita, thank you for joining us too. Raquel, love you. Hillary, I'll see you
Love
soon.
you.
All right, y'all.
Much needed.
Thank you.
Thank
Vinny.
you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.